This conference will now be recorded.
Okay, we will start. Chaturmukha Samarambham Vakbhadacharya Madhyamam Asmadacharya Paryandam Vande Guru Parambaram. Ragadirogan Satatanushaktan Asheshakaya Prasutan Asheshan Aulsukya Moha Aradidan Jakhana Yogurva Vaidyaya Namostu Tasmai. So today we will start with the new chapter, Rasabhediyam. We completed Dravyadi Vijnaniyam, and at one point in Dravyadi Vijnaniyam we saw one what should I say, some sort of a offer or a promise. Then idi dravyam rasan bheda iti uttaratropadekshate. So uh, we will, or I will say or give the details of rasa with its bheda in a different chapter. So after that Dravyad Vijnaniyam, now at this point we are going to explain that. Rasabhediyam, that is the name of the chapter. Rasabhediyam means a chapter in which the rasas are going to be discussed, or everything about the rasas are going to be discussed. Rasabhedam, that is a word used. Rasabheda. So a chapter which deals with the Rasabheda is known as Rasabhediyam. So here we will see the Shad Rasas with their descriptions, their lakshana, karma, all these things. Rasa is very important in Ayurveda, isn't it? We all know that the concept of rasa is very important as far as the Dravya Vijnana of Ayurveda is concerned. We have seen it many times. This is due to some specific reasons. It is not just a uh, proposal or a suggestion. It is based on certain specific reasons. Rasa gives the any dravya will have many characteristics. It will have at least the basic 5 characteristics like rasa, then shabda, sparsha, rupa, and gandha. Sometimes it may be very evident, sometimes it may not be. We have discussed something about all these things in our previous chapter. So when we consider one dravya as a physical entity, like a mango, or a piece of wood, or a stone, whatever it is, a physical entity which can be placed on or over the table and observed, then I think it is a different story, entirely different story. You may be feeling its touch. Wow, this is very soft. Or you may smell it. Fine, this is very nice smell. Or you may drop it down and see how the sound that it makes is. So you may be feeling the touch, then and also the shape also, or the color. All these things can be observed without uh, permitting that particular dravya into your system. You need not bother about the good and bad when you look at a dravya and identify its rupa or varna, or touch it and feel how is its sensation, or smell it even, or drop it and listen to its sound. But the story is different when you try to taste it. While tasting, you are letting the dravya into your system, especially to that particular part which is concerned with the ingestion of food and its pajanam. So that makes a huge difference. A dravya on the tabletop and a dravya in your oral cavity, mouth, they are entirely different. Because now onwards, your body by instinct is going to get engaged in an effort wherein that particular physical substance, that dravya, will be acted upon by your Agni in due course of time, and all efforts will be put into it to convert it into your Sharira Dhatu. This is not the case with the other qualities or properties of that particular dravya. This is why the rasa is gaining much more importance than the other four indriyarthas. And rasa is considered, I hope I am clear, rasa gains much more importance than other four indriyarthas of a dravya. They are important, no doubt, but this is more important than other four. That is what the message is. And that due to that reason, rasa is considered as the primary assessment tool of a dravya. Primary assessment tool of a dravya as far as its uh, that status about its consumption as a food or as a medicine is concerned. Whether it is worth consuming, whether it can be dangerous, whether this will improve the strength of the body, whether it can be dangerous to the system, all these things. The very basic assessment is based on its rasa. That is why we saw as the last shloka in our previous chapter that tasmad rasopadeshena na sarvam dravyam adiched. The word meaning of that line is tasmad rasopadeshena na sarvam dravyam adiched, means so by understanding the rasa of a dravya, do not estimate the dravya as a whole. That was a warning. Because of the predominance of rasa and because of its primary nature of assessment, generally we tend to take the entire stuff of dravya assessed based on its rasa. But we may go wrong. There are exceptional situations where the rasa may not be representing the dravya as a whole. So when they are giving an exception, there may be situations other than this. It simply means that in most of the situations, you can understand the dravya as a whole by understanding the rasa. Somebody is texted that, okay, I'm not audible. Am I audible, or is there some issue with the audibility?
You are quite clearly audible, sir.
Okay, okay. But there are some messages like Dr. Bhuta, then Vaidya Ashwin Kumar saying that I am not audible. I do not know. I think sometimes if they go out of the meeting once and re-enter, that may be working. Anyway, I think we can move forward. Okay. So with this background, we will see the Rasabhediyam chapter. In Ayush Kamiyam, we have seen certain basic understandings about rasa. That means rasa, swadu, amla, lavana, tiktoshana, kashayakaha, shad, dravyamashridasteja, yatha purvam balavaha. That is what we see in Ayush Kamiyam. Rasa, swadu, amla, lavana, tiktoshana, kashayakaha, shad. Shad rasaha. And their name is Swadu Amla Lavana Tiktoshana Kashayaka. So it is a some sort of a categorical statement. Vakbhada gives a categorical statement about the number of rasas. Rasaha Shad or Shad Rasaha. Swadu Amla Lavana Tiktoshana Kashayakaha Shad Rasaha. When the author says that there are 6 rasas, that is fine. You can later see which are the rasas. Now it is made as a statement that there are 6 rasas. So you need not say that rasas, swadumla lavanatikto, the names of the rasas need not be given at that point. Similarly, if you list the names of the rasas, swadumla lavanatiktoshna kashayakaha, then it is anybody can count it and understand that they are 6. So there is no need for saying that shad with a special emphasis. So this is done to show or to make it a rule in that particular context that there are only 6 rasas, and those 6 rasas are swadumla, lavana, tiktoshana, kashayaka. Why such a stand? Because there are differences in opinion in this regard. There are differences in opinion. We have seen how that differences in opinion are discussed and settled and brought into a consensus in a Purva Grantha called Charaka Samhita, in a particular chapter called Atreya Bhadrakapiyam. Basically, that chapter is a seminar. That seminar discusses about the rasas, and it starts with the number of rasas. It is a seminar where many legendary acharyas or rishis or scientists or seers, whoever it is, are present, and they were discussing, and the entire discourse starts with one statement of Bhadrakapya, that is, Eka eva rasa ityuvaja Bhadrakapyaha. Eka eva rasa. What is that Eka eva rasa? Jihva vaishayigam bhavam. Panjanam indriyarthanam anyatama. One among the five indriyarthas. Jihva vaishayigam, which is the Vishaya for the Jihva. That bhavam is known as rasa. So there is only one rasa. That is how the seminar was opened. Then there are many differences in opinion. No, I don't agree with this concept of one rasa. It may be true that there is only one rasa in that particular way of understanding, but I think it is not inclusive of all the concepts. So I would propose that there are two. Somebody else, he stands up and say that, okay, I think we have to consider three. Like that, there is a debating air in that chapter, and there Atreya concludes it. Acharya Atreya concludes it. There are only 6 rasas. No, so coming to Vakbhada, he is somebody who is the least bothered about that debates. In my textbook, please take it for granted that there are 6 rasas, and they are Swadvamla Levana Tiktoshna Kashayakaha and Dravyamasritaha Techa Dravyamasritaha. Why should it be highlighted? Because sometimes we may get some uh, ideas like rasa is so important to such an extent that dravya is insignificant. Bring madhura. What is to be treated at this point? Treat it with this is vada. So what should we do? Treat it with madhura. Fine. This is excessive kabha. That is the point which is to be treated. How to treat? Treat it with piktarasa. So everything spins around the names and descriptions and the glory of rasa, wherein the dravya itself is becoming insignificant. So that is not the case. Even though we are talking in plenty about rasas, please mind that tehi dravyamasritaha. Dravyamasritaha. They are not free existing principles, but they reside in dravya, or dravya accommodates these rasas, and these rasas are the properties of dravya only. They are not independent principles. Dravyam teja yadha purvam balavaha. That is another description that we find in Ayushkami. Techa yadha purvam Balavaha. Balavaha means something or a group or whatever it is, which balavaha, balakaraha, provides the body with health. Balam. Health, I think, is not the right term. Balam is balam. Better understand balam as balam. Forget about health. So, techa yatha purvam balavaha means they provide the body with balam. How? Yatha purvam. Yatha purvam. So, the order in which the names of the rasas are given also represents an order in which the capacity to give bala to the deha or sharira decreases chronologically. From beginning to end, the capacity to provide bala decreases. So, swadu, amla, lavana, tikta, ushana, kashayakaha. The rasa which will provide you with the maximum bala is madhura, and the rasa which will provide you with the minimum bala is kashaya. Yatha purvam balavaha. Why that is told? Just prior to this statement, we will find vruddhi samanaihi sarvesham viparitair viparyaya. Vruddhi samanaihi sarvesham viparitair viparyaya. By that theory of the similars and dissimilars or particulars or difference, Acharya was introducing a big concept which can be considered as the very basic of Ayurvedic operations in clinical practice. Vruddhi samanaihi sarvesham. Sarvesham bhavanam. Samanaihi vruddhi. Viparidaihi viparyaya. Viparyaya kshaya. To give clarity to this idea of samanya and viparita or vishesha, immediately he brings the concept of rasa to our notice and then explains how does it operate. How does it operate? Tatradhyaha marudam ghrandi trayastiktalaya kabham kashaya tikta madhuraha pittam anyedu kurvate. I'm not going to the details. We have already discussed it. But to get an opening to Rasabhediyam, I am just reminding those portions. That's all. So with that, Tatradhyaha marudam ghnandi trayastiktalaya kabham kashaya tikta madhuraha pittam ghnandi. So it shows that there is a viparyaya or vishesha between that particular set of rasas and that particular dosha which is given, like tatra adhyaha marudam ghrandi. So that adhya traya rasaha and maruta, set of first three and Maruta. They are opposites. So what happens? Marudam Ghanandi. Trayaha Tiktadayaha Kabham. So Tiktadayaha Trayaha and Kabham, they are opposites. So Kabham Ghanandi. Kashaya Tikta Madhuraha Piktam. So Kashaya Pikta Madhuraha and Piktam are opposites. So Piktam Ghanandi. So it is with this example, or it is with this detailing, that the connection between a dravya on the tabletop and the sharira are established to be of the same origin. That is Panchabhuta. The sharira and the bahya dravyas, they are made out of the same Panchabhutas in different combinations with the identifiable dominance, providing it with the identifiable properties, of which Rasa is the number one. So based on the assumption or understanding of Rasa, you can make assumptions about how a physical dravya on your tabletop is going to influence your sharira. So this is the, I think, the background in which we are going to discuss Rasabhediya. That is the significance of Rasabhediya. Now we will come to the chapter. We find, first of all, we already told that, okay, all the dravyas are Panchabhautika, and these Panchabhautika dravyas they have different combinations of the ingredient bhutas, and the type of paga that is happening in each dravya is very unique, which gives the dravya its identity in terms of its qualities. And out of the many qualities or properties or whatever it is, Rasa is going to be of prime importance, and that is what we are going to discuss. So there is a jitnasa, how the rasas and the bhuta configuration of a dravya are related. Is there a relation? Can you find or can you propose any connection between the bhuta status of a dravya and its rasa? To address that jitnasa, the chapter opens explaining this relation. We find Kshmambhogni Kshmambuteja Ghavayu Agni Anila Gonilaihi Dvayolbanaihi Kramadbhudaihi Madhuradi Rasodbhavaha. Kshmambhogni Kshmambuteja Ghavayu Agni Anila Gonilaihi Dvayolbanaihi Kramadbhudaihi Madhuradi Rasodbhavaha. So we find a sequence where 6 groups are made, in which in each of the group with 2 bhutas. So that long first line with 12 names in it can be split into 6 with 2 members in each group. Kshmambho, number 1. Agni Kshma, Agni Kshma, Ambuteja, Ghavayu, Agni Anila, Gonilai. Kshmambho, Agni Kshma, Ambuteja, Ghavayu, Agni Anila Gonilaihi. Kshma stands for Prithvi. Ambha, Jalam. Agni, Agni. Ambu, Jalam. Teja, Agni. Gha, Akasham. Vayu, Vayu. Anila, Vayu. Go, Prithvi. So these are the terms. So Madhuradi Rasodbhavaha Kramad. Kramad Madhuradi Rasodbhavaha. Kramad, in the order given, in the same as in the text, in the same order, Madhuradi Rasodbhavaha. How? Dvayolbanaihi Bhudaihi. Dvayolbanaihi Bhudaihi. So when there is a dominance of Kshma and Ambu, there comes Mathura. Agni and Kshma, Amlam. Agni and Kshma. Ambu and Teja, Lavanam. Gha, Vayu. That means Akasham and Vayu, Akasham. Agni and Vayu, Kadu. Bhumi and Vayu, Kashaya. Kramad. Dvayolbanaihi Bhudaihi. Madhuradi Rasodbhavaha. Rasodbhavaha Rasasya Rasayoho Rasanam Udbhavaha. Rasodbhavaha. Udbhavaha, that Jananam. Utpatti. In simple English, making. So the making, in the making of Madhuradi Shadrasas, one may assume the dominance of two bhutas in each rasa as listed in an order. Kshmambhogni Kshmambu Teja Ghavayu Agni Anila Gonilaihi Dvayolbanaihi Kramadbhudaihi Madhuradi Rasodbhavaha. So certain things we have to keep in our minds. Number one, this is about Ulbanada. Ulbanada. It doesn't mean that there are only two bhutas in a rasa. It is not correct. There are all five bhutas behind each rasa. But there is an issue of dominance. So here we find two rasas listed under each rasa. Two bhutas listed under each rasa. So there can be many questions. These are pure assumptions. Why not one? Regarding the dravyas, we found that okay, Parthiva dravyam, Agneya dravyam, that was also based on dominance. Ulbanada indicates the natural or prakrita dominance. It is not an added one later. It is a sahaja, Ulbanada. So we found that Parthiva dravyam or Apya dravyam. Similarly, in those contexts, only one Bhuta was dominating. In Parthiva dravya, it is Prithvi Bhuishtha dravya, Prithvi Ulbana dravya. Similarly, Rasa also can have that sort of a stand, no? One Bhuta listed as the dominant feature of a particular Rasa. It can be fine, no problem. But these are assumptions, I mean. Or okay, let there be three. What is the problem if there are three dravyas listed as dominant one? No issue. See, in all the dravya, all the rasas, there are 5. So suppose there is a concept that the Mathura, in Mathura Rasa, Prithvi will be the topmost Bhuta, or otherwise Jala will be the topmost Bhuta, followed by Prithvi, followed by maybe Vayu, followed by Akasha, and followed by Agni. Maybe putting Agni as the last one. This is just an example I am saying. So then in that case, you can say that Madhura is Jala Ulbana. Or if you would like to take 2, then you may say that okay, it is Jala Prithvi Ulbana. If you want to take 3, okay, Jala Prithvi Vayu Ulbana. So it is all matters of description, that's all. But more than that, there may be some logic behind it, behind all these assumptions. That could be, I repeat, that could be an effort to connect this idea with the karma of a dravya. Karma is not an assumption. How does a body respond to a madhura dravya? Or what all karmas a madhura dravya does in the body? That is observable. That is not assumption. It is pratyaksha. So when that pratyaksha is available and you try to explain that pratyaksha just based on the rasa, you will have to make certain proposals or assumptions like this. So in order to explain the karmas done by Madhura Rasa, you have to say that, okay, Prithvi and Jala are the dominating Bhutas. Then only the karmas of the Madhura is explained. Similarly, you have to assume with each of the remaining 5 rasas. So here we find a style of explaining the rasas with the dominance of 2 bhutas. That's all. Dvayolbanaihi kramadbhudaihi madhuradi rasodbhava. This is interesting and useful as well. When we go back to the Aishkamiyam, we have seen that Tatra Adhyaha Marudam Ghanandi. Adhyaha Traya. So, Madhura Marudam Ghanandi, Amlam Marudam Ghanandi, Lavanaha Marudam Ghanandi. So, if you have to bring Vada Shamanam, you have 3 options. You have Madhura, you have Amla, you have Lavana. But interestingly, even though the 3 rasas are Vada Shamana rasas, their Bhuta configurations are different. One is Prithvi Jala, second one is Prithvi Agni, third one is Jala Agni. So, what could be your choice in a given case where Vada Shamana is required? We will find a note. Tasmannaigarasam dravyam bhuta sanghada sambhavad. Naiga doshastado rogaha. So naiga doshastado roga. Even though we may be saying that okay, this is a vadaja roga, there are other factors which are to be considered, whether it is a vada kevala or vada anubaddha. If it is anubaddha, whether it is pitta or kapha, even if you don't find any pitta or kapha anubandha as to be considered as swatantra, or when you assume that okay, this is kevala vada, you have to assume the status of pitta and kapha. This is a kevala vada, fine, but still what is the condition or what is the avastha of pitta? Is it sama or in chaya sanchita or in kshina? Or what is the status of pitta or kapha? All these aspects are to be considered. So there is vada vriddham, that is the thing what we are going to address. Pitta sanchitam, kapha looks kshinam. Pitta is sanchitam, kapha is kshinam. So our prime target is vada. We are looking for vada shamana. Tatra marudam granthi. So we have madhura, amla and lavana. Madhura is vada shamana, pitta, sorry, amla is vada shamana, lavana is vada shamana. Madhura is vada shamana, pitta shamana, kaphavardhaka. Amla is vada shamana, pitta prakopana, kapha vilayana or kapha ukledana. Lavana is vada shamana, pitta adhikopana, lavana kapha vishyandana. So when you look into these finer aspects of the situation as well as the finer behavioral pattern of the rasas, if the situation which you are going to treat is kupita vada, sanchita pitta and kshina kapha, obviously your choice will be to go for madhura. And that madhuryam will correspond to the vruddhavada sanchita pitta kshina kapha situation in terms of the Bhuta configuration of the dravya with the madhura rasa as well as the Bhuta configuration of the doshas what we explained. There we are putting that tatra adya marudam ghanandi trayas tiktadaya kabham kashaya tikta madhura pittam anyedu kurvade, that principle into practice. So knowing these kshmambho agni kshmambu teja ghavayu agni anila gonilaihi is of importance. So that is the application part. Regarding all the gross dosha sthidis, we can make some simple associations like this. But when anyescha vikalpanaihi vikalpidanam, when other considerations, other questions, other samshayas, all these things are there under the scanner as matters to be considered before prescribing, then obviously there will be finer assessments required. Fine. Then we find the explanation of these rasas in terms of their lakshanas, rasa lakshanas. That is Tesham vidyadrasam swadum yo vaktram aswadyamanaha. From there onwards, we find the rasa lakshanas. Interestingly, especially when we are looking into the application part of this Rasabhediyam chapter, we should know something about the connection or association of rasas with the ritus. Because in Ritucharya, we find certain very interesting associations given. Like, see, if you look into the Adana Visarga Vibhajana, Adana Visarga Vibhajana of the ritus, regarding the Shishiraddhais Tribhistaistu Vidyad Ayanamuttaram, that is Uttarayana. Tasmin hi Atyartha अत्यर्थ तीक्ष्णोष्णरूक्षाः मार्गस्वभावतः आदित्यपवनाः सौम्यान् क्षपयन्ति गुणान् भुवः. Then next line, तिक्त कषाय कडुगो बलिनोत्र रसाः क्रमाद्. तिक्त कषाय कडुगः Balinotra rasaha kramad. Similarly, in Visarga Kala, Ridavo Dakshinayanam Varshadayo Visargascha, we find Snigdhaaha cha iha Amla Levana Madhuraha Balino rasaha. Snigdhasche Amla Levana Madhuraha Balino rasaha. So we find a connection. In Shishiratu, there is a balam for Tiktarasam. In Vasandartu, Kashayarasam. In Grishmam, Kadurasam. In Varshartu, we find Amlarasam. In Sharat, we find Lavanarasam. In Hemanda, we find Madhurarasam. Dominance. So what is the reason for this sort of an association? When we look into Sushruta or Ashtanga Sangraha, we will find Saha Rasaha Shadrudugatvad Kalasya Mahabhuta Gunaihi Unadiriktaihi Samsrishtaha Vishamam Vidagthaha Shodha Prathak Viparinavate Madhuradi Bhedena. Ashtanga Sangraham, Sutrasthanam, chapter 18, Rasabhediya. Rasaha dhalu apyaha prag avyaktaha. Rasa is apya, the guna or an attribute of up. Up means jala, apyaha. So rasam is apyam. Rasanartho rasastasya dravyamapa kshidistatha. We will find this in Charaka, Sutra 26th chapter. So this rasa kalasya shadridgatvad. Kalasya shadridgatvad. From the shadridgatva of kala. Shadridugatvam, the state of Shadridu. Shadridugatvam. Kala has got 6 ritus. So that state is known as Shadridugatvam. Kasya Kalasya. Kalasya Shadridugatvam. From the Shadridu nature of Kala, ऊनातिरिक्तैः महाभूतगुणैः संसृष्टः ऊनातिरिक्तैः ऊनम something which is less, adiriktam something which is more, mahabhuta gunaihi the gunas of the mahabhuta, ऊनातिरिक्तैः mahabhutaihi mahabhuta gunaihi by or acted upon by the mahabhuta gunas which can be either in excess or in shortage or more or less. Una adiriktaihi. Una adiriktai means less or more. That is the order. Una means less, adirikta means more. Unadiriktaihi mahabhutaganaihi samsrishtaha. Attached to that less or more quantities of the mahabhuta guna, vishamam vidakthaha, vishamam in separate manner. Vishamam here means which is very diverse. Vishamam vidakthaha, the particular type of paga that is happening inside a dravya which ends up in the formation of rasa. That is what is meant by the vidaktha shabda. So vishamam vidakthaha, that means cooked in diverse manner. Prithak viparinamate, viparinamate evolves. Prithak evolves, separately evolves into shad, 6, madhuradi bhedena. So there Vagbhada tries to connect the evolution of 6 rasas with the 6 ritus of the kala. So in our understanding we have got 6 kala and so we assume 6 rasas. Basically in Western thought there are only 4 kalas, ritus, and generally they assume only 4 rasas. Now there is a change slowly happening, but which is still some sort of an avyaktata. So that observation by Vagbhada in Ashtanga Sangraha is also significant. Rasaha ghalu vapyaha prag avyaktaha cha sa षड्ऋद्गत्वाद् कालस्य महाभूतगुणैरुनादिरिक्तैः संसृष्टः विषमं विदग्धः षोढा पृथक् विपरिणमते मधुरादिभेदेन. So this also should be there in our minds before we proceed with the Madhuradi Rasa Lakshanas. Madhuradi Rasa Lakshana we saw that we started. Tesham vidyad rasam swadum yo vaktram anulimbadi aswadyamanaha dehasya hladanaha aksha prasadanaha priyaha pipiligadinam. I will read that sloga once again. Tesham vidyadrasam swadum yo vaktramअनुलिम्पति आस्वाद्यमानो देहस्य ह्लादनोक्षप्रसादनः प्रिय पिपीलिकादीनाम्. We will go to the details of this shloka in our next session. I'll just read it that once again with the padachedam. Tesham vidyad rasam swadum yaha vaktram anulimpati आस्वाद्यमानः देहस्य ह्लादनः अक्षप्रसादनः प्रियः पिपीलिकादीनाम्. We will see the explanations in our next session. Thank you very much.
Yes, thank you, sir, very much for today's introductory session. I think we will have a deep explanation of further Adhyaya in our next coming sessions. So I think with this we will end our today's session and meet in our next session. Thank you, sir. Thank you,
Okay,
everyone.
okay. Thank you. Thank you.